Before we get into this video by Candace Owens entitled "Who Moved the Camera Right Above Charlie's Head," which as of the recording of this video already has over 2.5 million views and it was only streamed 16 hours ago, she's going to get into who took this camera right here above Charlie's head down. That's this guy right here. She claims to have been in communication with him. But before we get into that, I want to show you this video that was just released yesterday on X. This is reportedly, this is Tyler Robinson from a May 31st, 2022 body cam video where he was involved in an accident. Let's take a look at this.
Who's the driver? You the driver?
Yep.
Can you tell me just really quick what happened?
I was coming this way and he was just passing through and he pulled out from here, or no, from there, I think.
Do you remember which lane you were in?
I was in one of those two lanes going this way. I think in the right, yeah, in the rightmost lane coming this way.
Okay.
And he would have been there going left. And as I was coming through, he turned in and I T-boned into the side.
Okay. Do you remember looking at the light?
Yeah, it just turned yellow as I was getting into the intersection.
Gotcha. Okay, are either one of you injured in any way, shape, or form? No, nothing hurts? Okay, do you have your registration and proof of insurance on your vehicle?
Same address. So he's the passenger.
Okay.
His insurance, mom's on the way. He doesn't have a copy right now, right?
Mom right now.
Okay. That'll work out. I'll just go ahead and...
Do you need to be on speaker?
He's got his pull up on his phone. I sent a picture of it if you want me to text it to you.
Yeah, just text it to me. That'll work out.
There
There you go, bud.
Thanks.
All right. And then, did you get a record coming for this?
Yeah, I got one coming for this one.
Okay. He's going to need one too. He's a little leaking. Did you get one for this guy as well?
Yeah.
Control 313. We're going to need a record for the 6 Juliet Fox as well. Your mom's on her way?
Yeah, she's gonna be a minute. She's got to shuttle over from where she's at to her car and then drive over.
Gotcha. Okay.
Some have pointed out he uses the word car, not vehicle, like the FBI release of the messages between Tyler and his boy/girlfriend. Some are also making the assumption he's obviously not gay. I mean, look at him, which is completely unfounded. There's a lot of speculation going on with regard to this video.
What I need you to do is just fill out this witness statement for me. This is just your identifying information. Down here, put exactly what you told me that happened. You two, are you brothers or friends?
Yeah.
Or, okay, all I needed, I just need his, down here, let's put name, date of birth, your address, and your phone number. That work just right down here. I have to list him as a passenger. Okay, are you injured in any way, shape, or form? No? Okay. Perfect. Okay, just give us a couple of minutes and we'll get the paperwork. All right?
All right.
And we're going to have a tow truck come and get your car since you're leaking fluids. You're not going to last too long.
Just as I left the house, put oil on.
Of course.
Just topped it up.
Welcome to real life. Yeah, that's Murphy. We're working. All right, guys, just hang tight.
All right, so that's Tyler Robinson a little over 3 years ago. Now we turn our attention to Candace Owens, who claims that she knows who this guy is who took the camera down that was hanging behind and above Charlie Kirk as he was shot. And she claims to have reached out to him and have been in communication with him. And there are a lot of people who trust everything she says. Let's take a look at this.
The vultures are circulating above, man. They are definitely insisting that we stop investigating this. Let's at first address what many people have been emailing me constantly, asking me, Candace, you gotta look into this, you gotta look into this, look at these two strange men. We're gonna refer to this as Cameragate. It's Cameragate. And I wanna say this, shout out to all of the internet sleuths, the TikTokers, the YouTubers, those of you who are not playing around and you noticed this, because I did not in the beginning. But yes, as I said, there's an individual who is at first in the moments just after the shooting, he's like up on the rocks near the car that Charlie gets taken away in while he's being carried away. Let's take a look at that footage actually first. So let's look at that footage. And don't worry, there's no gore in this episode. It's difficult for me to even look at that sort of footage. Take a look. You can see Charlie's there. And one of you guys caught this. You probably didn't even see it there. And we can get in a little closer. Do you guys have it slow it down, or do you guys just want to circle here? Okay. Right there. Right there.
Okay, we're talking about this guy right here. Now, I wonder why he took this elevated position. Maybe to get out of the crowd. I don't know.
An individual standing there. Again, I am just amazed at internet sleuths, as I was like, wow, that is very strange. That person appears to be calmly talking into their phone. It's like a circus around them. What's he doing? Who's he speaking to? Then, just a couple of minutes afterward, that same individual appears alongside another individual, and he moves Charlie's chair. That's a crime scene. That's not good. And he moves it because he wants to stand on it as he takes down the cameras, or the camera rather, that is just above Charlie's head. That's the camera that I'm talking about on the right-hand side. That's a camera.
That's a good screenshot of this camera. I don't know what kind of camera this is. I can't tell with this marking right here, but I can only assume that this is a high resolution camera, a much higher resolution than we've been getting from this Charlie Kirk incident. Love to see that footage
that I'm referring to, and we are going to now take a look.
Let me just say at this point, at this inflection point right here, strangely, Candace doesn't say anything about the other two. I thought it was one, but there's two more high resolution cameras that are placed even closer to Charlie Kirk on his left side. As you're looking at Charlie Kirk, it would be to your right. If you're looking behind Charlie Kirk, both of those high resolution cameras, I'm assuming high resolution, high quality cameras, are to his left.
At him. And he is also the individual, as many of you pointed out, that was near Charlie or just before the assassination. But let's check out that footage of him in the immediate aftermath, kind of switching around the cameras, the two of them. Take a look.
Actually, you saw one of those cameras right here. I wasn't even thinking about that. But here is one of those high-resolution cameras. There are two, and there were two in place at the time of the shot.
Fireworks. We cordon off this up. Safety team is here. I just heard them say the active shooter, Charlie Kirk, has been shot. Charlie Kirk got hit, is what the security detail just said.
Camera's already been removed, in case you didn't notice.
Don't worry, guys. We're going to get closer. This is just a wide shot, so you can see what's going on here, and then we'll get a bit closer. I know you guys have pulled apart this footage a million ways, and thank you for that. And here's the closer version of that. You can see, slowed down here, he pulls out the chair, he stands on it, and yes, that would be a big no-no for a crime scene. You don't move anything. He takes down the camera that is directly above where Charlie was sitting and would be able to provide, therefore, a lot of insight. And then you can see he kind of sits the camera onto the desk, and it looks like he removes the SIM card from it, or the SD card, if you will, which we're watching right here.
This is almost a Zapruder type of moment. If that was my friend that was hit with a bullet, I would probably be doing the same thing. I wouldn't want the feds to have that footage.
So I'm going when I saw this footage. Who is that? Like, actually, I should be able to figure this out because I've got a pretty big network at Turning Point USA. The person's wearing shades. I'm not recognizing the individual. And I reach out to somebody on the inside and I'm just like, who's this person? And they tell me the person's name and I go, oh, wait a second. And I look again. I'm like, I know this person because it's been a few years, but I know this person. This person's been around Turning Point for quite some time, for years. Like I said, back when I was working at Turning Point, early days. So I'm like, I'm just going to reach out. Obviously, I know this individual. I'm going to reach out and I'm going to say, hey, what's up with this? Where is this footage? Why did you do this? What were you doing up there on the rocks? What's up? Like, this is not the first thing that I would do if I had just witnessed Charlie Kirk being shot. And I'll say this right now. He was extremely forthcoming. Like, as soon as I reached out, I just sent a text because I still had his number.
It's actually the first thing I would have thought about. Okay, what other camera footage do we have for this clearly historic and tragic event? Oh, we've got the close-up footage. I'm definitely going to secure those SD cards.
And he was extremely forthcoming, immediately got onto the phone. And first and foremost, I should say, obviously, he's seeing all of these clips going viral and he is fearful for his family. He doesn't have any security and people are looking, you know? And he said, look, as you can see in the footage, I was sitting right to the left or to the left of Charlie when Charlie got shot. And I instantly knew that he was not going to be okay. I instantly knew that he was dead. And I then, like, as you can see, people that are running, anybody that was in that zone, ran to the back and he caught his breath. He wanted to check in with and communicate to other people that were working with and around Turning Point USA. That's why he's on his phone, communicating to them what had happened. That's what he told me. Then I asked, okay, well, what about this camera thing? Why would you grab the cameras? And he says, because the first thing that I thought is that I better secure the footage and be helpful and hand that footage over to the feds. Well, obviously, that's where things get into a pickle with me because we don't trust the feds, right? I'm like, no, we don't trust the feds. We don't got to do that. Just let me have the footage. I'm like, just send me the footage. Please let me look at it. There's a lot of conspiracies that are floating around right now. People don't know what to believe. People are doing what I would say, credible videos. People that certainly have the credibility are ballistics experts that are saying that what we see in the front is an exit wound, not an entry wound. I don't know one way or the other because I'm not an expert. I'm getting inundated with messages from people that hunt, people that are in the military saying that this had to have come from another direction. This footage could help. As if nothing else, let me help you. Let me formally debunk that by seeing this footage. Like, could you send this footage over to me? Well, he didn't want to send the footage over to me without checking with Turning Point lawyers. I said, look, technically, you own the footage. Like, you know, you and some other people own the footage. Like, let me just see the footage because why go through lawyers? Like, I just want to see the footage. And also, I asked the question, why not just release it?
That's a very strange statement to me. Before I release this footage to you, let me check with the lawyers. If it's your camera, if it's your SD card, if it's your property, I'm saying if, because I don't know whose property it is. Maybe it's TPUSA's property. I don't know. But the dissemination of that information is vital in the investigation. I didn't mean to rhyme there, but it's vital. If you can get high resolution footage of an event, which will tell you exactly what happened beyond this, low resolution, seriously compressed video and blurry video that we've been taking a look at. If you can get a high resolution shot of the thing everybody else has been seeing from a different angle, in this case, there would be 3 different angles. The camera on the top behind Charlie Kirk, there's 2 cameras placed to his left, one to the rear left and one to the front left, you would have all the angles you need to determine what exactly happened to this guy. But they're not even going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about the fact that they're not talking about it.
We've already seen the worst thing that you could possibly see from the front, right? Like the front is what is the traumatizing video. And I understand that he wants to afford his wife some protection. Like this has, to experience that, Erica, so many people watching the love of your life in the last second of their life, it's traumatizing. I'm traumatized by it, right? That's not my husband and the father of my children. And so out of a loyalty to Erica, he also doesn't want to give more footage to the internet. But I said, look, I'm not going to publish it. I just want to see it. And I think you should let me see that because people trust me. They know that I'm very serious about this. I don't care about anything right now other than figuring out who killed Charlie Kirk.
I would say we shouldn't trust anybody. We need to verify what's going on. We need to actually see receipts. We need to see the proof, see the evidence. I don't want anybody gatekeeping for me. Don't keep vital information from the public when you could just disseminate that information and they can come to their own conclusions.
So in the short run, he agrees that rather than send the footage, he will get onto a FaceTime call with me and he will show me the footage on his computer. He did that and I watched the footage and I'm going to tell you what I saw. And
so if this is true, then he is gatekeeping and she is gatekeeping. Keep that in mind. At this point, I'm not saying she's not trustworthy, but I don't trust anybody, and neither should you. You should always verify what people are saying. How do we know what you're saying is true? Every bit of this conversation that she's conveying to us, it's 100% we're just believing what she's saying. We have no proof that this conversation even took place. We have no proof that she even saw what she claims to have seen.
To the people specifically, the people that are in the military, people that know weapons, I'm telling you this because you might be able to add more color or more clarity here. What you would expect to see if given the weapon that they have said did this, the bullet they have said did this. I don't know anything about any of this, so I'm just telling you what I saw, okay? First and foremost, there is nothing gory about this shot at all. And so again, I am still going to work with him to get me the footage so that I think it should be shared. There's nothing gory about this footage from the back. The thing that really stood out to me, and I just kept asking him to replay it over and over and over again, is that there's no blood. There's no blood. From the back. There is no blood. So I think a lot of people were wondering whether or not that bullet pierced and went out the back. I think I vaguely even remember, and Skylar, you can maybe live look this up, but like I thought the feds were saying they were looking for a bullet at some point, which is now very alarming to me. I don't understand that. How could they have been looking for a bullet? Because if I'm not seeing, and there isn't, I'm telling you, what happens in the front is not what happens in the back at all. If I'm not seeing any blood, what are we to take from that? The only thing that
I also want to point out, Candace is sitting here telling you what she didn't see, but she doesn't go into any detail or say anything about what she did see. Okay, Charlie's sitting there. I could tell he kind of put his microphone down, and then the shot came and he kind of lurched like this, and then he fell down. And so you didn't even see number one, how much of the video did you actually see, Candace? Did you see the actual shot take place? Did you see him fall out of his chair onto the ground? When he was on the ground, you didn't see any blood on the grass at all? With where the camera was situated, can you see the roof line that the shooter supposedly took the shot from? How much time elapsed from the time that he was shot to the time that he was laying on the ground? How much of a clip did this guy let you see? Doesn't answer that question. Doesn't deal with that.
that could make sense if what they're saying is true and that person took the shot from the place that they're saying that individual took the shot from, it would suggest that it was inside of Charlie, right?
If you saw a video that nobody else had access to, wouldn't you detail? If you weren't going to show it, wouldn't you at least detail what you did see?
And they would know that. The feds would have known that. So they would have communicated that they were never looking for a bullet. Because remember, one shot. So I'm very confused. I'm very confused, not by what I saw, but what I didn't see. Okay?
I'm confused by what I didn't see. Tell us what you did see. But she doesn't do it.
That's pretty much all I can tell you right now. And I am going to try to get all of the footage.
That's all you can tell us? No, that's not all you can tell us, because you didn't tell us anything. You only said that you didn't see something. What did you see, Candace? This is very strange to me. And I looked in comment after comment under a video right here, and nobody asked the question, but what did you see?
And I understand that right now he is very fearful, but I am going to continue to try to privately push him to just release it. I believe that transparency is the only way. I'm much more, I think all of us would agree, have much more trust in the people than I do in the feds. The feds are lying about everything, so they should not be the only people that have access to this. And I understand not wanting to have that relived from another angle, but given the fact that there is no gore and there is no blood from this angle, I don't see why not.
I don't trust anything anybody says, especially when she just said on her last broadcast that Charlie Kirk is a friend of the feds.
Charlie Kirk, who has been a friend of the feds, right? I think probably not a good idea to be friends with these people, but whatever. He's been a friend of the feds. Surely this is a big issue.
Let me show you right here. This is the camera that was mounted behind Charlie Kirk as he got shot. Here's the camera to his left front. This looks like a pretty highfalutin camera to me. And here's the other camera to his left rear. But it looks like this camera right here might be, maybe that didn't, depending on the angle of the lens, if it's a wide angle lens, it might have picked it up. I wonder if there's anybody with a fisheye camera, a 360 camera mounted on one of these tripods right here. But it looks like that this camera right here and this camera guy might be focused. Maybe he's focused on the guy asking the question. But you can see right here, as he's being shot, this camera is not being manned, and it looks like this is actually being controlled by this woman right here. So this camera right here is probably pointing at the person asking Charlie the question or engaging in the conversation, and this camera right here is pointed directly at him. So we at least have the front left camera and the rear camera. Why didn't Candace ask about this camera right here in that footage? Because it looks to me like she was rolling when the shot rang out. One more thing I want to show you underneath Candace's video is this comment by MSGED2007. Candace, I'm ex-military, grew up hunting on a farm in Georgia, was expert qualified with every weapon I handled in the military. I've been around high-powered rifles all my life and currently own 3 of them. I dropped 2 full-body deer with 1 shot one time to prove to my dad that my .308 Winchester was enough to take a big buck at 150 yards versus his 7mm Remington Magnum. They lined up in my scope, and I waited until their vitals were aligned before pulling the trigger. Exit wounds on both. I said that to say this. I know what I'm talking about. There's not a .30-06 round made that will not exit the human body at that range. By the way, .30-06, that is the caliber of the bullet. It's a .30 diameter, and 06 was the year that it was adopted as standard issue in the United States military. That's 1906, thus .30-06. If you lined up 5 people for that shot, the 5th person is in extreme danger, if not no safer than the front person. To put it into perspective, a 9mm handgun has around 350 to 400 foot-pounds of energy, and they routinely exit the body. A 30-06 has roughly 2,700 foot-pounds of energy at that range. If you did not see an exit wound from the camera from the back, Charlie was not shot with a 30-06 from 200 yards from the front. Period. Impossible. End of story. Keep going. We're with you. Find out what really happened to Charlie. And I would just add, find and release the camera footage from this camera and this angle and from the rear camera. So do you believe what Candace is saying? Do you think she really had this conversation? Why didn't she ask more questions? And why didn't she detail what she saw? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know, and I'll see you in the next video.